Greetings, folks. This is Mason Weaver, author, host, troublemaker. This is the 29th of August, 2023. In 2019, my wife, the world's most beautiful woman, was dying of stage 4 inoperable pancreatic cancer. I spent that entire year and the entire year of 2020 by her bedside. Did not leave her, took her to every doctor's appointment, cared for her, talked to God every day, all day long until he took her home. During that period of time, in 2019, I wrote the book, The Democrat Party Hates America, because it was so plain to me. I had to put it in written form to demonstrate to people who were willing to think and look at the evidence. The Democrat Party hates America. My book came out in 2019, as you will see in the clip here. And I've been teaching about it and preaching about it ever since then. The Democrat Party has always been the party of hatred. Not just black people. They hate God. They hate prosperity. They hate peace. They hate. Everything they control turns to hate. When they take over a steady, prosperous city like Detroit in the 1960s, they turn it into a hellhole. When they manage a state like California, it turns to a hellhole. Democrats own every ghetto in America, and every ghetto in America is worse off before they arrived. As a matter of fact, the more poverty and drugs and gangs you find in the black community, the more they vote for Democrats. Therefore, Democrats love poverty, they hate prosperity, they hate God, they hate peace, they hate fairness, they hate America. So the book is designed to look at these items, and you can see if you look at the inside cover. First, I want to point out the copyright. 3 lines down. Copyrighted 2019 by Mason Media Company. That's my company. Also, you can see some of the topics. The Democratic Party hates black people. They're encouraging and providing abortion for black babies. They're putting black men in jail. Every ghetto controlled by Democrats have a gang and a drug problem. Every single one. Planned Parenthood, the genocides of the black community, Margaret Sanger and the Negro Project. The next chapter, the Democratic Party hates America. The magical thicket of the Democrat Party, the black reparations, the 40 acres and the mule syndrome. We are the United States, but not if we continue to allow them to get that. The Democratic Party hates America is outlining the historical 200-year history of the Democrat Party, the party that took this nation to war to keep slaves, the party that divided the nation, the party that killed 360,000 white Republican brothers. They're trying to free black folks from them. It was the Democrats that stood with General Lee trying to keep the slaves. It was the Democrats that was opposed by the black army that marched in the Galveston, Texas to free black folks on Juneteenth. It was Democrats that was the party that was the target of every single civil rights action, every protest, every march, every demonstration, every boycott, every effort by Dr. King and every civil rights leader was against Democrat. The party of segregation, the party of poll tax, the party of the whip, the party that invented lynching, the party that formed the KKK. That is the history. The party that marched with 30,000 KKK members down to Washington, up to the Capitol. And black folks, the most abused people under Democrat control, continue to vote for the slave master. And here's why, folks. It's very frustrating to understand why you're voting for your abuser. Why you're voting for the party that keeps you in captivity. We're beginning to wake up now. But the reason why is that Democrats understand something that Republicans do not understand. That the more you abuse someone, the more they serve you. We think the more you abuse someone, the more they fight you. But Democrats, the spirit of serfdom, the spirit of feudalism, the spirit of slavery. I have to understand from thousands of years, same spirit. The more you abuse someone, the more they will follow you and obey you and work with you. Look at an abused woman. The man can beat her every weekend for 20 years. You can counsel her. You can call the police on her. You can put a restraining order on him. You can do everything you want to do until she gets tired. She's going to fight the police when they show up until she gets tired. You got back in the cowboy days where the Indians would attack a wagon train and haul the women off back to the tribe. And finally springtime comes and the soldiers come to rescue those women. And they're fighting with Indian braves they fall in love with. Look at Germany, World War II, invaded and conquered Spain. After 2 years, the army came up from D-Day and marched into France. And many, many of those women were supported the Nazi soldiers because they fallen in love. The more you abuse someone, the more loyal they are. And Democrats understand abuse. You will never have a Democrat-controlled city that does not have homeless, abuse, drugs, and gangs. It's not that they don't understand, folks. It's not you cannot explain to them. It's not that you can be reasonable and explain what their actions are doing. They know good and well what their actions are doing. They're doing it on purpose by design. They're teaching your kids to be failures by design. That's what they do. And I'm sorry to say it, but let's stop calling them Confederates. Let's call them Democrats. Let's stop calling them liberals. Let's call them Democrats. Let's stop calling them progressives. Call them Democrats. Because you don't see liberal on the ballot. You don't see progressive on the ballot. You see Democrats. So let's start calling them. Every action Dr. King had, every action against any civil rights activity was against Democrats. Understand the party of poverty and the party of slavery. If you want to be free, you better act like it and vote for the party of freedom. This is Mason Weaver. Get the book. The Democrat Party Hates America. There's another book out there somewhere with a similar title. Mine's out in 2019. Get the one that's originally by Mason Weaver. Go to my site, masonweaver.com, and get this book. And you give it to your friends and relatives. Here's why. They think there's no hope. So you got a Democrat liberal friend, a relative. You ask them to read this book and tell you where I am wrong. Don't ask them to tell you what they think and how they feel. Ask them, where am I wrong in the facts I lay down in this book? Because see, now they got to read the book to tell you where I'm wrong. And I got to think about what I'm saying to tell you where I'm wrong. And you cannot be a Democrat while you're thinking. So folks, stay right or be left. Eternity is a long time to be wrong. God bless.